And we're live. Can everyone hear me okay? All right, perfect. Great. So hi guys, I'm Max. Thank you all for tuning in. You guys can post all of your questions in the Telegram and I'll be answering all of you guys. Just while you do that, I want to take this opportunity to share WhiteRock's vision, not just for our company, but for the entire financial system. The two different worlds of traditional finance and the crypto world have always been isolated from each other. On one side, we have regulations, safety, and trust. But on the other side, we have innovation, efficiency, and extremely high yields. I'm here to tell you that WhiteRock is eliminating the gap between those two worlds entirely. Let me explain to you what we're building. Just imagine a world where a pension fund holding billions in government bonds can deploy those assets in a lending pool generating yields of 20% or higher. Yields that were only previously accessible to crypto narratives. A world where a hedge fund can tokenize its equity positions and use them as collateral within minutes, not relying on bank approvals. A world where everything can be tokenized, traded, and even leveraged with absolute security and regulatory compliance. This is what WhiteRock is building today. And I'm particularly excited to share with you some news about our XRP ledger integration. After a lot of research into different settlement situations, we found that XRPL offers the fastest, most secure pathway for institutional funds to bridge their assets on-chain. And guys, the response has been nothing short of extraordinary. We've already seen over 1.2 billion in total assets under management from funds whitelisting from our XRP ledger mainnet integration. That's nearly 10x the demand we initially projected. So there's a lot of reasons as to why XRPL makes perfect sense for our institutional clients. First of many of them is that XRP is already familiar to them as a settlement layer, so it was an easy pitch. Second, the transaction speeds and low costs are unmatched for the level of security provided. And third, with XRP's market cap at 300 billion, there's a massive ecosystem that understands what we're building. As institutions deploy their capital from our platform, we expect significant attention to flow from the XRP ecosystem into the white token. So currently we're working on our hyperspeed order book DEX, and it's unlike anything the crypto market has ever seen. It's built on our own blockchain, and it combines the innovation of platforms like Hyperliquid with the compliance institutions require. So every trade, every listing, and every market operates in a way that satisfies global financial regulations. But the DEX is only one piece of our upcoming ecosystem. Our lending platform represents perhaps the most significant breakthrough. For too long, institutions have watched from the sidelines as crypto platforms like Aave offered stablecoins lending with yields exceeding far higher than they have ever experienced. These yields make traditional fixed income returns just look like rounding errors. The demand for stablecoin in the crypto ecosystem has been surprisingly high, and that's what's driving these incredible yields. Yet, institutions are unable to participate in a safe and regulated manner. So WhiteRock is removing these barriers forever. We have created an easy process. Institutions place their assets with WhiteRock for custody. We then tokenize these assets on-chain that can be traded, lent, or used as collateral in DeFi ecosystems, all with the security and compliance that institutions actually require. So this is particularly necessary now for traditional financial institutions as we're entering a period of declining interest rates, right? So the current yields that they're earning from their system is shrinking faster than ever. And the expectations from the clients is growing more than ever. They actually need crypto. Whether you believe it or not, WhiteRock is not an opportunity for them. It's a lifeline. So the timing of everything we're building, it really couldn't be more perfect. The regulatory landscape has shifted dramatically. ETF approvals, increasing institutional adoption, clearer legal frameworks. And all of that combined with the most pro-crypto US presidential administration in history, these factors have created the perfect environment for WhiteRock to thrive. What seemed impossible just a few years ago is now happening. And the question isn't whether the world will embrace tokenization. The question is how quickly will it? The traditional financial markets represent roughly $400 trillion in assets. The crypto market is approximately 1 trillion. When even 1% of traditional assets flow into crypto through our platform, the impact will be huge for all of our tokens, and not just the white token. All of this money flowing extends really beyond trading and lending. Think about liquid assets that could suddenly become liquid through tokenization. The inefficient markets would become efficient. That capital could be unlocked and deployed productively. So let's take some questions now. I'm really excited to hear what's on your mind and to be able to discuss our product. Okay. All right, first question. So you say there's a BlackRock partnership, but online a lot of people are saying it's fake. What is the truth? Okay, so we've actually never claimed a partnership. You can look on our website and it specifically states built on. And that's for a reason. So we use BlackRock's Treasury Bond ETFs to back USDX. It's very simple. It's like saying USDT is saying they're built on the US dollar, right? It's not an endorsement by the Department of Treasury, but it's just simply explaining how it's built, right? So we also show that we're built on Open Zeppelin, which is a smart contract company. It really means that we're using their trusted ERC-20 smart contracts. So yeah, the root for these rumors, it just seems to be coming from a game of broken telephone, if you will, where third-party marketers are just misunderstanding what this means. But yeah, I still find it a good display, or good to display this on the website because it shows the structure and the trust that the underlying bonds USDX have. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Next one. Your price is down 70% from all-time high. How is this possible? With the positive news, is this a scam/rug? Yeah, thanks for that question. So, first of all, I don't really like to use the S or the R word. I think it gets kind of overused quite a lot in this scene. So first of all, no, this is not a rug. A rug pull is when someone pulls the liquidity, and the liquidity hasn't been touched at all, obviously. Yeah, and about the price, I don't like to comment on the price too much, but I guess I'll explain this once and for all so everything is clear. You know, we're up 4x from a week ago, all right? The price has went up almost 50x in less than a week due to the crazy amount of attention we've been receiving from some of our developments. So if you have been in crypto, you realize that downturns from this are really normal. And I mean, considering the wider market downturn, we're still up a lot. Why is the contract a proxy? Well, you know, a lot of big projects have their token as a proxy contract because it allows for upgradability. If you guys look at our closest competitor, Ondo, their contract is also a proxy, right? In our specific case, our specific reason for this is that the token needs to be upgradable for the big plans that we have, which include making changes to the token, right? So a renounced contract and lock liquidity is only something that you would require for projects that require zero trust, like meme coins. So no, to answer your question, we won't be renouncing it anytime soon. You know, our motto is shipping things fast and being as efficient and as effective as possible. So that's exactly what we're doing. Okay, next question. What is the purpose of white? Well, White, for one, it'll be our chain's gas token, and it'll be introduced as a central part of our ecosystem. So basically, any action within the White Rock ecosystem will require White. Will the app be available to investors in the US? All right. Current regulations make this kind of difficult. That should change soon with the new presidential administration. So we are working to make White Rock accessible in the US as soon as it becomes possible. But yeah, besides, the US already has plenty of access to securities and other investment vehicles. So we're instead focusing on making those more readily available to the rest of the 7.7 billion people in the world. Is White Rock hiring? Yeah, so we are hiring and we're rapidly doing so. So we only offer top salaries to attract top talent. All of our salaries are within the top 10% range from the San Francisco salaries. So yeah, please DM us with your resume if you think you're a good fit, and we'll happily have a look at it. Why is there a total supply of 1 trillion? Well, we don't want each transaction on chain costing us something like 0.000015 White or something, like it does with Ethereum. So we instead plan for it to reflect the cheap transaction costs, like only needing 1 White or 0.1 White for a transaction. Will there be plans to burn supply? So the way the chain works is that every White spent on a transaction within our chain and future products will be burned. So there is a limited supply of Whites and it will only ever be removed. So if you want, no new White will be introduced into the supply. Hi, can you explain the XRP partnership more? Yeah, so one of the things that we're doing is integrating XRP's ledger to enable fast transaction and instant settlements. So the testnet is already live and it's working great. We can already see the demand coming from our whitelist, from our existing clientele and from new ones as well. So yeah, like I said, XRP is already really well known in the traditional financial world for what it does. And when we mention to funds what we're doing, they instantly understand. So yeah, basically building on XRP's ledger was a no-brainer. And the tech is surprisingly good as well. So yeah, if you're a bank or a financial institution, you can visit xrpl.whiterock.fi and even check it out and sign up for yourself. Did Vitalik buy White? So the answer to that is no. It was gifted to him, which is not an uncommon thing to do. We even put out a tweet to explain this. Yeah, again, this is just a case of broken telephone. We never said that he bought this. This is just something that third parties started spreading themselves. There are some FUD rumors concerning you being connected to the Sincas and Z Casino scams. I personally sold because of them. What can you say about this? All right. I haven't seen any proof or anything at all concerning these rumors. Yeah, it rather seems like some kind of a FUD campaign. So there is one connection, being our moderator, Andrew, who was also a moderator in the Sincas community. But I mean, if you worked for FTX as a chat moderator, I wouldn't exactly call you SBF, right? So yeah, we just find this a far-fetched FUD campaign. Yeah, a lot of these posts came from influencers who demanded payments or marketing deals with us, which we didn't accept. So yeah, we will be taking legal action against them for spreading those rumors, actually. Yeah, if you aren't aware of what these things are, I really wouldn't worry too much about them. Wow, I put my money in this at 0.001, and I really have to say that this is amazing what you guys have managed to do. I did this before hearing your voice, so it really felt like I took a risk here and it paid off. Keep doing what you do, man. It's fucking awesome. Yeah, glad to hear this. Yeah, we'll continue working to achieve what we set out to do, for sure. I also wanted to say thanks. I love what you're doing here. Please keep the token price going up. Yeah, thanks for the feedback, guys. I'm really thankful. But yeah, we don't have a lot of time, so let's try to keep these questions, strictly related to the protocol or the company. And yeah, let's try not to mention token price. Why has the price gone down despite mention XRPL partnership? Yeah, so I'm not going to answer that. Hi, I deposited $50 and only got $20 in white through the app. What is going on here? Yeah, thanks for this. This is actually really important. So because of the major pump in white, the pool which supports USDX hasn't been able to keep up. So therefore, there's been a slight price discrepancy. If this did happen to you, just email us at contact@whiterock.fi, and someone from the team will reimburse you. All right, next question. Licenses. Yeah, so we've spoken with regulators regarding a brokerage license that covers our current use case. And right now we're in the final steps of becoming the first licensed RWA protocol. So what we do right now is we currently don't offer you the actual rights to the stocks, but rather the economic rights as to keep our platform compliant. When will there be new sex listings? Yeah, so we're actively working on the new centralized exchange listings with just 3 happening last month. This is definitely one of our priorities, just giving more people access to the White Rock ecosystem. So yeah, definitely at the top of the list. A lot of people have been blacklisted. Yeah, that's also just not true. If you can find me any case where anyone has been blacklisted, I'd be happy to look at it. We've only blacklisted malicious actors, such as someone who has phished our users from Telegram. Yeah, so just not true. Yeah, also, please be careful not to click any links or give your seed phrases to anyone. We will never ask you for your seed phrase. Just mentioning. All right, so yeah, I think we've gone through pretty much everything. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I wish you an amazing day. And yeah, let's keep building.